Hello and welcome to the Record Club, brought to you by Record Store Day, the official charts, and National Album Day, and proudly in association with Bowers Wilkins. My name is Jess Izat, and we are excited to say that our guest today is the lottery winners, talking all about their number one album, KOKO. If you have hung out with us here before, you'll know that we're going to be spending the next half an hour or so talking to Tom from the Lottery Winners all about the new record. And then we're going to be putting forward some of your questions about the album for him to answer. So, if you want to get involved, drop us a question in the comments section below, and I'll be asking a selection of them in the second half of our chat. One lucky person who sends in a question today is going to be randomly selected to win a pair of Bowers and Wilkins PX7 Season 2 over-ear noise-cancelling headphones. They're stunning, they sound really, really good, and so does the album in it. So get your questions to us, don't miss out. If you haven't already got yourself a copy of the album, a physical copy, we thoroughly recommend you order one from your local record store once our chat with Tom is over. But first, let's get straight into this week's Record Club and say a big hello to Tom from the Lottery Winners.
Perfect.
That, I think, is probably the best entrance to the Record Club we've ever seen.
I don't doubt that. I'm probably the best guest you've ever had.
Oh,
I bet you've
I
had
can't
some
wait.
really famous guests, actually. Who's been on this before me?
Yeah, we've had a few. I think Blondie is the name that I like to share with a lot of people because
Yeah, maybe
it's
Debbie
quite
Harry's better
impressive.
than me.
Debbie is a legend, a living legend, and so are you. So there we go.
That's not for me to say, but you said it.
So each week on the Record Club, to kick things off, we like to start with one of the many amazing independent record stores in the UK. They have a question for you. They are Phoenix Sound in Devon, and they've asked, what inspired your band name? Did you win a lottery yourselves, or was it a close friend that came up with it? Your music and personalities are always giving everyone a positive lift, just like a lottery win.
That's cute. Thank you. The band name was a terrible mistake that we made many years ago, and I hate the band name. I really do,
No.
because literally every time we ever get a bit of press or anything, it's like, even just this week, it was like, lottery winners win the jackpot with number one album. And I'm like, come on. So yeah, I hate the band name. It was supposed to be all ironic because we had no money and we were like borrowing guitars off people and cadging lifts. But yeah, no, I hate it. I'd want to call, but it's hard to think of a band name, Jess. Think of me a band name now. Just think of one.
Um, yeah, no. To be
See?
fair, we were talking in the office one time, and I think things that are like ironic, like you said, or two random words that weirdly fit together is quite funny as a band name, but I wouldn't say they were good. So like,
Coldplay, Snow Patrol,
yeah.
Arctic Monkeys.
hmm
I should
Like
have just done
I
two
said someone was
names.
being a mood hoover once, and
Great
someone was
band
like,
name.
great band name.
Sounds like it might be a six music-y, like post-punk. Howard Mood Hoover. This song's called um, Crayolas.
Crayolas, Froob. Like it's like self-deprecating.
Froobs. Remember Froobs? I've not had a
Oh my
Froob
God,
for
that's so good.
years. Petty Flu
Yeah,
in tubes.
throwback. Do they still do them, do you reckon?
Don't know. Why,
You
why
should
don't we
do
get this
like
video sponsored by Froobs?
you should do like the lottery winners, or like Cocoa Froobs.
That
What
is
flavour do you reckon they'd be?
probably coconut, but I don't want that.
Oh,
Because
wait, what
cocoa.
made you say that then?
Oh, I
Oh,
suppose they
okay,
could be
yeah.
chocolatey, couldn't they?
Yeah?
Cocoa. Yeah, chocolate Froobs. Pleasure in a
Done.
tube.
Big shout out to Phoenix Sound in Devon.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for the new
asking
merch
that.
idea. Yeah. Yeah. I have to say congratulations because this is your second official number one album.
Don't.
Not many people can say that they sit above the pop princess heavyweight that is Sabrina Carpenter. And you've let us know that you were also up against the likes of Selena Gomez. I can't remember who else you said, but like, I mean, it doesn't matter because you guys hit the top spot.
Hit the jackpot, if you will.
Hit the
I
lottery.
know. Yeah, it's bananas, in it. Like, I'm so grateful for all the support around this album from our amazing fan base, and just, yeah, wild. Look at it.
Oh, stunning.
Sabri-
Beautiful.
Sabrina's not got one. Yes, she has. She's got it loads of times. But Selena Gomez, sorry, Selena and Benny Blanco, but try again next time.
Next time. Next time when the lottery winners don't have an album out.
Yeah, why don't you do your research and pick a better week?
No, but honestly, how does that feel for you? Because I feel like I read a stat that it was 85% in the first week of your record store campaign was physical sales. That means people are like out here wanting this physical record as a part of their collection. Like, what does that mean to you, especially in this current day and age?
It means loads to me because that's how I consume music too. I mean, I do stream music, but if I love an album, then I want to hold it. I want to look at it. I want to read the sleeve notes. I want to feel it. Like, I'm an old romantic at heart, and I just feel like music has become kind of a little bit disposable sometimes, but not to our fan base, which makes me feel very lucky. Like, it's something that people want to own and keep forever. And yeah, now you can own that one and keep it forever, Jess. Will
I
ya?
shall. Part of
Will
my
ya?
collection. Of
Forever.
course. I actually have, it's got a spot with our other record club alumni, so it will sit next to Blondie uh, and various others. Talk to me about the shoot. I feel like that captures all your personality so well.
Suppose it does, yeah. I don't know. I just thought it looked cool. Like, we did loads of pictures and that, and I thought that one I looked nice on. Do I?
I like the glasses, really.
Yeah, I stopped wearing them so much as I had a lot of comparisons to Elton John. I kind of
Oh,
looked a bit like if Elton John and Rag and Bone Man were one person, like Rag and Bone's nan. That's what I thought
that
it was.
normally people are like, oh, if Rag and Bone Man and Elton John had a baby, but you've gone for Nan instead, which I quite enjoy. I've also enjoyed having a little look at the the well wishers on the back. So dedicated to Bongo. Who's Bongo?
Yeah, doesn't matter. But that was dedicated to someone that this dedicated to someone, but I don't want to talk about it.
That's okay. And I also enjoy, we picked some of these out already. Um, some of the thanks. Well, Robbie Williams is a big one because you're heading on tour with Robbie. Talk to me about your relationship with Robbie Williams.
Yeah, that's so mad. Like, we're just literally absolute best friends now, and he rings me all the time. Too much, actually. I've had to block him because it was just relentless. But no, he's like, just imagine that you had this idol all your life, and then one day he just reaches out because he hears a song on the radio, and made me cry because he was telling me like how special he thinks I am, and that he'd watched every interview I'd done, and he probably will watch this, and like done a real deep dive, and he
Hi,
just thought,
Robbie.
yeah, and he just thought I was a really special, lovely person. And then he's kind of become like my therapist because everything that I'm going through now, he's already done. He's like, I'm like the TMU version of him. Like, he's he's like the main one, and everything he makes me call him Yoda, which is a bit weird when I'm asking him for advice. But no, honestly, he's just the most charismatic, caring, funny, spiritual, intelligent person that I've ever met. We've both got ADHD, so we can kind of relate, and we have very, very good conversations. A lot. They should have been recorded, really.
Mm. Well, I mean, it's going to be absolutely iconic if anyone has tickets to go see those Robbie Williams shows. How did the tour come about? Was that off the back of you guys having this relationship?
Yeah, well, yeah, I never wanted to ask him for anything when we became friends, really. Like, I did, like, because obviously being mates with Rob Williams when you're in a band, like, that's a good thing for your business. But I didn't ever want to ask him for anything. Never gonna do that. But it was his idea. He was just like, well, I'm touring for 5 months in stadiums everywhere. Do you want to come and play them? I was like, you'll have to speak to my people there, Rob. Like, speak to
Can't
my
really reject
grown-ups.
Robbie Williams, so can you? No, honestly, that is going to be insane. Let's get into the record. So it strikes me that this album is about making sure that people feel less alone. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope people kind of feel that way and take that from it. I wrote all the songs when I got my ADHD diagnosis. Like, so even though I kind of knew, everybody knew that I had it, I wasn't diagnosed yet. And then when I got that actual like black and white piece of paper that said, yes, you've got ADHD, it came with a range of emotions that I wasn't quite prepared for. Firstly, I felt just like absolved of everything I've ever said and done. I was like, oh, everything I've ever done is no longer my fault. Mint. So that was nice. But then it also came with like this mourning period of like, well, why was I just like kicked out of two schools? Why was I always separated from my friends? Why was I made to feel like an alien? Because, I was just listed as this naughty child. And obviously I wasn't. I just learned in a different way. And I knew that I didn't want to be naughty. I never went with that intention. It was just that I couldn't sit there. I physically couldn't. And
Mm.
so where was my support? So this album kind of explores a lot of that, really, a lot of those feelings and certain moments in my life that I kind of wish I could change. I mean, it's a lot about going to. I should really get over it. I'm literally 23 years old now, and I'm still going on about school. But yeah, I feel like for me, writing songs is like a therapy. And when I write the song, it kind of gets those feelings out of me. But then, and when I get to play them live or someone listens to it, then that's when it kind of become absolved and it's the end of the process. So I just had some things that I needed to get off my chest. But if you're not into all that deep stuff, it's very catchy.
Yeah, that leads me on to my next question. Obviously, the sonics of the album. I mean, I've written like You Again, like so road trip worthy. You've literally got a song called Panic Attack, and it's like the catchiest, like happiest thing. When these tracks are first written, are they written with that in mind that you're gonna end up making it sonically sound very opposite to what you're talking about, or are there versions of the songs that maybe aren't so like upbeat?
Well, with Panic Attack in particular, I'm glad you brought that up because it's going to make me sound very clever. I wanted to write a song with like a really dark theme, having panic attacks, which is something that I do suffer with, but make it like a summery and melodic and upbeat and have a kids choir and like just literally as happy as I could make the song. It's got whistling and everything, and that is because I wanted to mask the panic attack as I have to. So like a lot of the times I could be feeling like a panic attack coming on, but I'm in a situation where I can't let that happen and I just have to mask it. And so the song masks the subject matter. So it masks the panic attack. So I will be accepting an Ivor Novello for that genius idea anytime.
Good thing the Ivor Novello panel watches the record club avidly.
I'm sure they do. Hello. I will accept that award and for many of my other songs.
You've briefly mentioned being alienated, at a school level, and I think I saw something. It was with the visuals. Maybe it was an interview that you'd already done. So apologies if you've already spoken about this loads. But I actually wanted to know about the alien in UFO, both the visuals and the meaning of the tune as well.
So that was when I got expelled from primary school. I was like sent to a new school. And so the video was around my first day at that new school. And it was actually on my birthday. And it was like my forgotten birthday because I couldn't talk to anyone. Like I just felt like everyone default hated me all the time. Like that was just how I felt people saw me. So it was like the birthday I never had really. So I needed to get that one out of me as well. So I made this beautiful video. And yeah, that was me, that little alien.
Who actually played the little alien?
That was the daughter of my friend and the guy the director of photography on the video, Luca, and she's called Josephine. And she's 10 years old and just absolutely smashed it. Like she's now pursuing a career in acting. Like it was the first time she ever acted, and now she's signed up to like theaters and stuff like that to be an actor. And I'm just inspiring a new generation. I'm not saying that I'm a hero. That's not for me to say, but other people are saying it. A lot of them. Everyone else is saying it.
It will be a future Josephine interview where she'll say how she got into acting, and it will be with the little blue alien being Tom from the Lottery
Yeah,
Winners.
do you know what? She was amazing. She made me just cry just back with her eyes, and it was just incredible to watch her work. Considering she'd never done it before, it was just amazing.
Who's the kid's voice that you can hear at various points in the album? With the main phrase "keep on keeping on."
That's two kids actually. One of which is my cousin-in-law's daughter, little G, and she's amazing. And then the other one, Kate and Joe, the drummer and bass player of our band, have a goddaughter, and that is who the other voice is. But I just like when I had that idea, I started frantically texting around any of my friends that I knew with children, just being like, "Can you just record me a voice note, please, saying keep on keeping on,
I
please,
need your
please just do it now."
children.
And it was like the last minute as well. Like the album was literally due, and I'm like, "Can I exploit your children for my music, please?"
Why did you think that that was the finishing touch that you needed for the album?
I thought it was good to have that kind of innocent voice on there because that's kind of, who I was at the time, where a lot of the themes were. And it kind of hearing that, because that phrase, keep on keeping on, that was something that was said to me by my family, by like my grandparents when I was expelled from school in those situations. It was always keep on keeping on, Tom, which is where the title KOKO came from. So yeah, I just wanted some kids' voices and cute. Kids sell records. Do you know what I mean? Proof's in the pudding. Look, I've got a trophy. If Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez has put some kids on their records, maybe they'd have had a number one this week. But nope.
Yeah, that's the advice, chaps. Talk to me about the final track. The obviously keep on keeping on, the name of the tune, the one that's inspired essentially like the title track of the record. Yeah, it's just such a warming way to wrap the album and just like a mantra, like you said.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a song where each of us in the band take a verse really, and we're all kind of apologizing to each other and ourselves for some of our maybe misgivings, and which is and then letting go of it. So that's what that is. Apart from Joe can't sing, so we just gave him a bit of a drum bit in the third verse. He just hits some drums while we go ooh. But I think it's a beautiful song. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful album actually.
Okay, I can see actually loads of people getting stuck in with the fan question. So
Probably
you know
more,
what? Let's
probably
just
more than Blondie had.
yeah. Is this actually you who's been sending in all the questions? I know you like headphones.
I want some free
Gary
headphones.
Gary on the lottery winners page says, "What was it like to be a human pyrotechnic whilst parading the UK number one chart trophy last Friday night at the Lee Sports Village?"
That was a lot of responsibility. That means nothing to you, does it, Jess? So our local rugby club, the Lee Leopards, asked me to lead out the team holding up the trophy at the stadium, and they also gave me this like firework gun, me like the naughty kid, and I was trusted around all these rugby players with all their beautiful. They were beautiful men, and I was just there with this gun that could have easily caused some situations to happen. But it felt amazing just to walk out in front, because I used to work at that stadium in the office writing CVs for people for the job centre. So then it was like a full circle moment to walk out on the pitch, everybody cheering with my second number one album.
Yeah, I was going to say why the rugby club. You did not mention this before. But yeah, if they're anything like the Spanish rugby team, then I would have been there. Just saying.
Well, Lee Leopards, that's like one of our homes, really. Like, there's such a big supporter of us in the club, and like we're both doing our bits for Lee. Lee are doing amazing at rugby. We're the first band to ever get a number one album from Lee, so we've got a nice relationship.
Amazing. Bill on the lottery winners page is asking, how do you all cope with your crazy schedule and hustle lifestyle due to the amount of performances, constant work, and tours?
Thank you for noticing how hard we work and how often we work. Um, Honestly, I don't wake up ever and dread my day. And that just makes me feel so lucky. When I used to work in that office, I used to wake up and think, no, no, I don't want to do today. I don't do that anymore. I love this job. I love what I do. It doesn't feel like a job. It's just like it's my calling. So I just like get up every day and I feel happy. So that's how we get through it because it's the best time ever.
Thank you for your question, Bill.
Thanks,
We've got
Bill.
Queen of the 80s on Record Store Days X, formerly known as Twitter. If you got the chance to go back in time to the 80s, which band would you join and why?
I think I'd like to join the Smiths on like second guitar. I wouldn't want to influence the music in any way. I wouldn't want to like step on Morrissey's toes or anybody's toes. I just want to be a fly on the wall. I just want to see like because Morrissey and the Smiths, they just seem so enigmatic to me that I would just love to like see the process. Do you know what I mean? So I'd just be like a little cook, like CUCK cook in the corner, just like watching them work.
Emma on the lottery winners page says, What was it like working with Chad Kroeger from Nickelback for the song Ragdoll?"
Incredible. Very nerve wracking to work with Chad Kroeger because he's in Nickelback and he wrote How You Remind Me and he's a massive famous celebrity. And we were on tour with him and I've got this habit of pushing my luck. And I wrote this song that I thought he'd sound great on. And I was like, I'm going to send it him. But then I was like, is this too much? But I sent it to him on WhatsApp and he left me on red. And I was like, oh no, I've ruined it. I've ruined the tour. And then he rang me at like 4 a.m. and was just like, he swore at me actually. And I was like, oh no, I've ruined it. And he said he couldn't get the song out of his head. And then we agreed to record it the next day. So that was literally just me on my laptop with this microphone, recording Chad Kroeger in a dressing room. Just me with my laptop with, its internet history, just everything just there. It was very nerve wracking. I think I pressed save 3,000 times.
Yes, so many different versions.
Yeah.
That is like a dream interaction. I love that. We have Karen on the lottery winners page saying, Tom, are there any situations that you find the inspiration for songs comes to you more easily than others?
Oh, thank you, Karen. You know what? Annoyingly, when I'm sad, I write loads of songs. When I'm happy, I don't tend to write loads of songs. Like, I kind of need a bit of trauma. So, yeah, just if anybody wants to just give me any trauma, I'll take it because I've got another album to write.
Inspirational. On to the next. I have one more question for you before I let you go. I always like to know, and I think it's important for people at home to know as well, especially if they're a fan of the album. Is there a tune that almost didn't make it onto the record? Maybe we can savor it a bit longer.
Yeah, there's a few actually. I wrote a lot of songs for this album. There's a great one called The Fame, which I thought was incredible. And because we're quite synonymous with like collaborations now, I wrote it with Suggs out of Madness in mind and sent it to him and he never responded. So it never went anywhere. But, Suggs, if you're watching, and why wouldn't you be? I'm sure he is. Then get in touch. I've got this great tune that I think will both become very famous off.
But
Even
we don't know
famouser.
that one. We don't even famouser. We don't have that one. But which is there one like that? It's currently
Oh,
on the record
already
that
on that
like
nearly didn't
so
make
now
it.
you're just teasing us with one that doesn't
Oh,
exist right
I'm
now. So
sorry.
we
I
can all
misunderstood the
campaign and
question.
tag Suggs and ask him to get that tune out. But
There's
yeah.
a song called Three Wishes that I recorded very last minute and put on the album like the last day. It went to mastering the same day that I recorded it. Because I just thought it was a beautiful song and it deserved to be on the album.
Yeah, amazing. Honestly, guys, save that, listen, get the record, obviously. Um, that is all we have time for today. We have loved having Tom from the Lottery Winners join us. Obviously, like I mentioned, make sure to get a physical copy of KOKO now that this
Yeah.
episode's over. Pick one up from your local record store. Support your local. We are getting. I'm excited to announce that the winner of this week's Bowers and Wilkins wireless headphones prize is Drum roll. Bill on the lottery winners page. So please slide
Congratulations,
into the record
Bill.
clubs. Thanks, Bill. The record club's DMs, slide into those and we'll get those headphones to you. My name's Jess Izzat. Thank you everyone for joining us and sending in your questions. This and all previous episodes are available to watch back on Spotify or YouTube anytime you like. I'll see you soon for the next episode of the Record Club. But for now, Tom from the Lottery Winners, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Jess. I love chatting to you. It was well nice.